In this video, I will be building the world's largest bikini bottom fish tank.
Ever since I was a kid, my sisters and I were obsessed with SpongeBob. Since I love fish tanks and SpongeBob literally lives underwater, I decided to surprise my sister with this huge bikini bottom fish tank for her 30th birthday.
No way!
I've also done some pretty crazy stuff in the past, like building this tunnel for my axolotl and this bridge for my betta fish, so I think I'm up for the challenge. The only problem is no one sells big SpongeBob houses, and we are going to have to build Bikini Bottom from scratch. This will be almost impossible. I also have $1,000 worth of plants and 100 hungry fish on the way, so we need to get moving. Before we start, let's go check out some 3D models so we know what we're building. We have Squidward's house, SpongeBob's house, and the Krusty Krab. We have a problem.
They don't sell anything larger than this. Let's take them home and see how they look in the tank.
This is for a tiny tank.
Since our tank is 4 feet long, we're gonna need something 4 times as big.
No one has ever made Bikini Bottom this large in a fish tank. The only option we have is to pay a commercial 3D printing company to make them for us.
So they can do it, but it's gonna take 5 weeks and cost over $4,000.
How am I supposed to surprise my sister on time? Right away, things seemed impossible, but then I got an idea. What if we 3D printed Bikini Bottom? I found these awesome models online. We should be able to scale this up to make it work. I ended up buying every single Bikini Bottom model to avoid running into this problem again. I even bought this super cool Bikini Bottom bus. It looks really hard to print, but hopefully we can get it to work. I even have a big batch of Krabby Patties for the fish to eat. Keep watching for a real-life Bikini Bottom feeding frenzy.
Now that we have the print files, we can use the blueprints to create a model to scale up.
We're just going to use white filament so we can see if this is even going to work. I'm really nervous because I've never printed anything like this before using my 3D printer. In the past, I've made lots of portals for my fish and axolotls. Let's try out this SpongeBob themed portal while we wait for our print to finish. The prints are done and they look pretty good, but they're going to be too small. I've just realized that scaling these up isn't going to work with this printer. Each piece takes over 50 hours and won't fit on this build plate. This 3D printer is just too small. Although I have a history of 3D printing things, I've never built anything of this size. Luckily, I have a friend who is a 3D print expert. Hopefully, he can help us bring our Bikini Bottom dream to life.
So what you're trying to do is almost impossible.
Each SpongeBob house is gonna take 50 hours to print.
That's over a week of printing and we just don't have the time. I don't know what we're gonna do.
If you got 2 3D printers, you would be able to do it in time.
This is going to cost over $1,000, but it's the only way my sister will get her dream Bikini Bottom fish tank. This way, we can print 2 models simultaneously. We're also gonna need a ton of different colored PLA to really make these look awesome. The next day, the printers arrived. I underestimated just how long printing these will take. I have a ton of plants on the way and 100 fish arriving soon. My sister's surprise is this weekend and we really need to get moving. Even though we're not getting these professionally made anymore, it's still gonna be nearly impossible to build Bikini Bottom. If even one thing goes wrong during the print job, we'll need to start the entire 40-hour print again. Let's set up the files and hope for the best. Oh no, the fish have arrived a day early. This really isn't great timing, but thankfully I have 2 quarantine tanks set up. They're cycled and ready for our new fish. Let's get them acclimated and settled in.
While we were acclimating the fish, one of the prints failed. That's over 40 hours wasted.
There's a mess of plastic everywhere. Let's tweak the settings and cross our fingers. While we wait for the new prints, let's give Ralph a snack. Ralph is my peacock mantis shrimp. He is quite shy, but easily the most colorful animal in the studio. The prints are looking amazing. I actually think this might work. I just hope they don't float. I really want my sister to get her Bikini Bottom surprise. But before we set up the tank, let's go pick up a special surprise. I got this awesome SpongeBob themed background printed for the tank.
This looks awesome.
It's time to put everything together. I'm just praying that the models are the right size and they sink to the bottom. I don't have time to reprint these before my sister's birthday. If I'm being honest, I don't know if this is going to work. I've never done anything like this and I really want to create my sister's Bikini Bottom dream tank. This setup costs a lot of money, and to make matters worse, I have $1,000 worth of plants arriving soon. Let's put the background in first. This is really going to make it feel like Bikini Bottom. I can't believe how good it turned out. This white sand is perfect since it looks exactly like Bikini Bottom. It's time to put in the houses. Wow, they look so good. They're the perfect size for our huge fish tank. We can't forget the road that runs through Bikini Bottom, making it a real town. I tried to freehand the road, and that was a mistake. I was way too confident. Thankfully, I had cardboard on hand to help provide guardrails. Now it looks perfect. I'm also adding little paths that lead from the main road to their houses. A few stones for SpongeBob and Squidward, and a black footpath for Patrick. And since I had a little extra time, I'm 3D printing a Bikini Bottom bus to go along the road. This piece isn't quite done yet, so we'll have to add it a bit later on. Make sure to keep watching to see it completed.
Everything is looking so good. I just hope they don't float. That would be a disaster.
This is perfect timing. The plans have just arrived. Let's check them out. I really hope I didn't just waste $1,000 on these plants. Oh my gosh, this is just so many plants. You could literally open up a plant store with all of these.
Speaking of plants, if you subscribe to my channel right now, one of you will win my favorite fish tank setup, a 4-gallon rimless aquarium and everything you need to get started. I'll even throw in a set of live plants, so subscribe right now.
Last week, Cadence from Michigan won. Congratulations, Cadence. Let's unpack these plants and get them into the tank. Since this tank holds 80 gallons of water, we're gonna need to use all of them to make it look awesome. In SpongeBob, Bikini Bottom doesn't have any plants. But fish love live plants, so I wanted to add them to keep them happy. They will surely die over time, which would be a huge waste of time and money. Thankfully, we can add plant nutrients to help them grow. It's finally time to fill up the fish tank. This is the moment of truth. Will our houses float up to the surface? I'm so nervous. I really want my sister to get her dream Bikini Bottom tank. Oh no! Patrick's house is floating up to the surface. I feel horrible and I'm starting to worry now.
I spent over $3,000 on this video and my sister's coming tomorrow. I'm running out of options and things are getting worse.
We need to act quick. My sister is coming tomorrow. Let's run to Home Depot to buy some supplies. I really hope that these tiles are going to do the trick. Let's silicone them together and create a base for each house. We're going to have to give them some time to cure. We only have one more day until my sister comes to the studio and there's still so much to do. It's time to add our houses to the tiles. Hopefully this works. Let's get them added back into the fish tank. I really hope they don't float. There is literally no time to spare. Yes, they're staying down. This is awesome. Bikini Bottom has come to life. It's finally time to add the fish. I wonder what they're gonna think of Bikini Bottom. Will they even check out the bus? The Bikini Bottom bus has finally finished printing and it's ready to make its appearance in town. I hope the fish come and check it out. My sister's here. Let's bring her in. She is gonna be so surprised.
Little does she know, I hired a real live SpongeBob to be here.
No way! This is the best birthday present ever!
Look, the fish are eating Krabby Patties. This is awesome.
We just made the world's largest Bikini Bottom fish tank. Make sure you subscribe and I'll see you here next week.